Wisteria2909 back for another episode of Reading the Wrong Way. With school starting up again, I think it's only appropriate that we take a look at a manga with school as the setting. Only this school is a little unlike any you've probably encountered before. This month we step into the Assassination Classroom by Yusei Matsui. This series is rated OT for older teens, which, considering the nature of this book, is perfect. As part of the Shonen Jump Advance line, it is geared toward a 16-plus audience. With assassination in the title, there are beyond numerous references to guns, knives, and even missiles. The teacher, which we'll get to more in detail, is a bit of a pervert and one could say a stalker as well. As we'll see in the synopsis, the subject matter can be a turnoff to some parents, but I do assure you that the series is meant to be taken as a comedy, and as we'll see later, can actually be oddly inspiring on a personal level. The series is currently ongoing at 15 volumes, however, I only had access to the first 3 at the time of this review, so my review will only reflect the content found in those volumes. A mysterious and powerful creature has destroyed 70% of the moon, leaving it in a permanent crescent shape. He states that within 1 year he will destroy the Earth, but he gives its inhabitants one chance to save themselves. He becomes a teacher at Kunugiakawa Junior High School to Class 3E, a class high on the mountain, kept separate from the main building for the school's losers and outcasts who have failed to maintain their grades. The only way for the Earth to be saved is for one of his students to kill him. But it isn't an easy task, as the creature, named Koro-sensei by his students, is a yellow octopus-like creature with a color-changing head that can move with incredible speed, Mach 20 to be exact. Armed with weapons capable of destroying him, the students learn to be assassins while also being taught the school's curriculum. The task to assassinate him seems impossible given his speed, but also the fact that he is perhaps the best teacher these nearly hopeless students have ever had. So, what do you need to know about the series? As I stated, the topic of killing a teacher may not sit well with parents, but it is intended to be a comedy. I wasn't too sure myself, to be quite honest, but I gave it a chance and I don't regret it. Within the first volume, I saw that the relationship between student and teacher was very unique, and I couldn't subject it to my human morals. I found myself laughing out loud at the jokes and references made within its pages. I compare it to an extent with Gintama if you're familiar with that series. And I mentioned earlier that this manga is oddly inspirational. Koro-sensei regards himself as a teacher first, a target second, and as such uses every opportunity to teach his students, often bringing it to a personal level, something teachers now seem to be restricted from doing. I truly appreciated his wanting to fine-tune tests and studying to suit the individual student's needs. I could also relate a lot to the characters as a whole. In school, I was a bit of an outcast, and still am even in the adult world. I think any high schooler, perhaps now more than ever, will see themselves in at least one of the students. I recently hit a rough patch with someone trying to divert me from the path I most wish to go down. This allowed me to really absorb Koro-sensei's lessons of using your individual skills to your advantage, finding other ways to accomplish your goal, and most importantly, to work hard for what you want. To state one of my favorite quotes from this series so far, "These students may come from a prestigious school, but everyone else there considers them losers, dropouts, rejects. But they're all working hard on their personal challenges. But unlike you lowlifes, they would never try to drag others down with them. Schools and status aren't important. A fish in a river or a swamp will grow beautiful as long as it keeps swimming forward." Well, enough of that personal stuff. Let's move on to the artwork. It's your typical shonen style. The lines are all thick with lots of action scenes containing sound effects. The male characters all have short, rigid hair with the exception of the main protagonist, Nagisa, who has a very gender-ambiguous design. The female characters vary from long-haired and pretty to short-haired girl-next-door types. One female lead introduced at the end of Volume 1 is drawn with the typical shonen style of having large breasts and revealing cleavage, which does lead to several instances of innuendo and inappropriateness. There is an anime for this series, which I have watched a few episodes of. From what I've seen, it sticks to the volumes almost panel for panel. A fair amount of the English dub cast made me cringe, with Koro-sensei, Karma, and Sugino being the only characters I was able to take seriously, which for this series is saying something. Nagisa is pretty poorly cast in my opinion, but his gender ambiguity causes his voice to be more feminine in the sub version as well. Overall, I'd recommend it as well as I would recommend the manga, if only because they follow each other so closely. Reading this manga has been one very strange and interesting experience. I didn't want to put it down, wondering what Koro-sensei's motive for destroying the Earth is, and what new tactics the students would use to try to kill him next. It left me very conflicted about how to feel towards the characters. My humanities says that this is a threat to our planet which should be eliminated, but seeing Koro-sensei's interactions with the students made me also see the humanity in his desire to see a student succeed, not only in their assassination attempts, but in their studies and personal lives as well. Perhaps I'm taking a comedy manga too seriously, but I hope you can take something out of it similar to what I experienced should you choose to enter this bizarre classroom. See you next time!
When I was given freedom, oh, all I did was play. When I turned back, there was nothing to see. You closed your doors before I could open mine. Now I know, now I see, it was a